Now for our final segment of the day, Anna Bellinghausen and Avarie Howard alongside with you. Omaha men's basketball. We're switching up. We had all the women's teams on, but we got to show some extra love to Omaha. Of course, Coach Crutchfield, Frankie Fidler alongside with us. Guys, how we doing?
Great to be here. It's a great platform for the Summit League to have Media Day the way they're doing it.
Yeah, we want to talk about this event a little bit, kind of the first time ever, just what the experience has been like for you guys and why this is so important to showcase the Summit League this way.
Well, I think from a branding standpoint, we're trying to raise awareness for our league. A lot of people don't know how good the Summit League is. Some people don't even know where Sioux Falls, South Dakota is. So we need that platform from an exposure standpoint and also from branding our league. So as we continue to grow our league, we trying to do that. So they're doing a good job. This has been an unbelievable platform today.
I want to speak on that real fast. It seems like that's been the message from all the coaches that we've heard from is the talent within this league is pretty incredible, and sometimes it doesn't get the recognition that maybe it deserves. You've had a lot of experiences across the country, and Frankie, you've played against a lot of guys. Just what does the talent and the competition in this league really look like?
Well, it's similar to a lot of mid-major conferences around the country. Missouri Valley, the Horizon, and the MAC. Those leagues are really, really good leagues. And for some reason, they've been able to get a lot more exposure than the Summits. Mm-hmm. But I think it's coming. I think people are starting to realize how good the basketball is. The run that Oral Roberts made a couple of years ago in the tournament
Mm-hmm.
kind of helped push that to the forefront. Now, as we continue to get teams in the tournament and being able to win a game in the tournament, consecutive games in the tournament makes a big difference in that exposure and that branding.
Right. And Frankie, for you being a junior at this point, has time just flown by? Because I felt like yesterday you were just a freshman.
Man, flown by.
Getting old.
Yeah.
He keeps calling me a vet.
He's a vet.
I try to tell him I'm not a vet yet, but I'm only 20, Coach. Not old yet.
What's been the biggest focus for you this offseason in improving your game?
I think shooting threes was a big focus. Last year I was under 30%. My freshman year I was over 40%. So, I took a back, like.
You took a step back.
Step back, thank you.
You're welcome.
A step back.
He was looking for help over there.
Man.
He wasn't getting it.
I didn't know what he was
I don't even care.
going with it.
A step back last year, so just trying to get back to, my freshman year shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And then being able to, I do have experience, a vet experience, so being able to read the floor better and get my teammates involved better as well.
You guys have a good mix of returners, but you guys also, I heard you earlier say, added some athleticism and some size to this group. How have you blended the newcomers and the returners so far in this offseason?
We have. Having those guys on campus all summer has really been good. And we had a foreign tour to Costa Rica, and we was able to practice for 10 days as a group before we went over on the trip. So those 10 practices made a big difference. Then just having those guys together, on the buses, in the hotels,
Mm-hmm.
in a foreign country, the chemistry is really, really strong now. So I feel really good about this group.
Yeah, let's talk about Costa Rica a little bit. How was that trip, guys?
Great. Fun time down
Yeah?
there. Yeah.
Lots of time at the beach? No. Coach is
Just
like,
the last day, really.
you let them loose on the last day?
Last day they had a chance to see some water.
Or the last
some
resort,
sand.
actually.
Yeah, the last resort was nice. So, but it was a great trip. We played 3 games,
Mm-hmm.
and the competition wasn't great, but they was able to have those guys play against other people
Right.
and get a chance culturally to see a different part of the country. They was able to see the city of San Jose. They was able to go to La Fortuna and see kind of the jungle and the volcano, and then the last one they had a chance to see the coast.
Mm-hmm.
And Costa Rica is really, really, really fascinating place, and they had a chance to learn a little bit about the culture of Central America.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
When we were in the jungle, we took a little ATV trip.
Oh,
This
no.
man forgot to hit the brakes and hit someone. Hit JJ.
Coach, come on.
I rear-ended one of our players.
That's too
No
good.
damage, no damage, no damage.
That'll wake him up.
Welcome back. I did do that.
That's good. Well, we're here on the court that you guys had a little bit of success with last year. You got a win in the tournament. Just kind of how much momentum or maybe just like a little taste of that success you're wanting to see more of this season?
You want to take that question?
Yeah, I will. The win last year helped us a lot. I think showed us how we should play to win, especially, in a setting like this. And we're kind of just taking that mentality over to this season and kind of just building off it.
Frankie, I feel like you've never really lacked the confidence or the swagger on the court. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, coaches look at it differently, but I think everyone in Omaha enjoys that. What have you liked about this group early on and what you've seen, especially with those 10 early practices?
Yeah, I think, the biggest thing I like is our chemistry. We got a lot of guys returning, but we also got a lot of new guys, but they're fitting right in with us. We all stay in the dorms together, so seeing each other every day, being neighbors with each other is a good thing. But on the court, I think, our point guard position has improved greatly. So is our center position. We're more athletic, more dominant in the paint, which I think will help us a lot this year.
Coach, you've only had a few practices for a full team, but just what's been the messaging from you and the coaching staff with these guys? What's been that consistent message as you guys gear up for this season?
First of all, it's been defensive discipline. We feel like we had to take a big jump defensively as a group. Then the next one is, I think, being able to share the ball, and I give those guys a lot of freedom offensively. So I want them to be able to have good shot selection, so to speak. So defensive discipline is important. Being able to take good shots and don't turn the ball over. And if we can accomplish those three things, I think we'll have a chance to have some success.
When you look on the other side of the ball offensively, what do you want this team's identity to be when this team's on offense?
We want to be a team that play fast. We want to get them down the floor. We want to push the ball in transition. We want to take availability of a defense that's not set. We have the capability to be able to push it and run. Then we want to be able to take good shots. I mean, we don't want to be a team just to take shots because we can. We want to be able to get the best shot that we can get as a basketball team. Then obviously you want to take care of the basketball. You can't turn it over. But when you play fast, that tends to happen. But I think we have a experienced group that can do that.
Looking at the schedule right now, especially the non-conference, you got TCU, North Texas you're going to, Texas Tech. What goes into creating that schedule, and why do you make it in that sort of fashion to really challenge your team?
Well, we felt like last year was a setup for not success, and just in the way the games was set up and the way the travel was set up. So this year we want to be a little bit proactive and to make sure we did it the right way. When we go on the road, we're going to play those two games in a two-game setting, kind of like what you do in the Summit. Then come back to some home games. Then you go on the road for another two, then come back to home games, and not give us 4 or 5 road games in a row. I think that's hard to do for any team in the country. I don't care what level you're at. So we broke it up that way, and I feel like it gives those kids a chance to regroup. If you go on the road and drop one or two.
Mm-hmm. I can see you smiling at some of those, being happier to be back at home. Are there any on the schedule that you are looking forward to, getting to play at Baxter and just having maybe some early success in the season?
Yeah, I think, 2 of the road games that I'm excited for are the TCU and Texas Tech. Yeah. But, just like Coach said, coming back home, being able to play is always a great thing, seeing your own fans cheering for you, not being the enemy, but is always a great thing.
I know when you think back to last season, you guys started off with KU, correct? Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, national champions, of course, but how do you just find ways to challenge your team internally when maybe the schedule is a little bit, nicer to you guys with coming back home and whatnot, but how do you keep that competitive fire during practice throughout?
Well, hopefully you got some character in your locker room and guys that understand what's happening. Sometimes it's not what's going on right now. It's the big picture. And we talk about big picture, as we go through our non-conference all the time. This is getting us prepared for league play. And the ultimate goal is to win the conference tournament and go to the NCAA tournament. So as we go along these non-conference games, we're trying to build some things here. We're trying to work on some things to make sure we can play in a hostile environment. And when we go to TCU or Texas Tech or whoever that we play on our schedule, this is setting us up to go into Brookings. It's setting us up to go into Tulsa and Oral Roberts. So it's all building blocks to the ultimate goal is to be relevant in conference play.
How close do you feel like this team is to getting over that hump and getting to a final on this court?
We're not that far away. We're not that far away because we added some pieces that was needed with our interior, with our big guys and Nick Davis. And getting Jamal Ambrose back healthy makes a big difference. Now you got two bodies that are 6'9" and 6'10". Then we added 2 point guards, which what we needed. We can move J.J. White off the ball a little bit and let him score. And what that does, just by having bigger bodies and bigger guys, it helps us defensively. It helps us rebound. And then you have two guys that you can throw it to in the post that can manufacture a shot that takes the pressure off Frankie and take the pressure off those guards. But having to manufacture a shot all the time. So it works hand in hand. We're excited about this group.
Frankie, I want your take on that as well.
Yeah, I think this is probably the most favorite team I've played with in my 3 years at Omaha. Just being able, like Coach said, being able to throw it to the big and kind of take the pressure off me and the other guards is going to be big for us.
We've asked every team so far. I'll steal it from Anna this time. But what does success look like for you guys, and also just in year 2?
Well, I think as you continue to build a program, you want to be able to finish in the upper echelon of the conference play. You want to be in the top half, obviously. If that's around 500, that's a win. We're still building. I think the foundation is set. But we still have some things we have to get done. There's some more pieces we can upgrade. But I think we're right on track. We're right on track for what we thought would be in year 2. Our retention was good. We was able to keep guys in our program, and we were able to add what we needed. And so that's why I'm so excited about this year because, after going to the league for a year, knowing what it was and knowing what we have, we're not that far away, guys, and hopefully our team understand that.
Right, and the fans too, and you see them showing up more and more at Baxter Arena to watch you guys. What does that community support mean?
Oh, it means a lot. Like I said earlier, just being at home, being in front of your own fans is a great feeling. And we're starting to fill that place up a little bit more, make it louder. Hopefully we get, the hockey status, but they got a great crowd. But yeah, it's a great feeling to be able to play in front of the home crowd.
Is that a challenge to the fans?
Nah.
No? Maybe?
I mean, it'll come at some point. I know it will.
Absolutely. Well, let's round off this segment with some fun questions. I know we all love these from the shows. The first one, super controversial. Who's the best dressed on the team? We'll start with players, then we'll go coaches.
Best dressed on our team? Probably Luke. Yeah. Luke Jungers.
Okay.
Yeah, probably Luke. Yeah.
Okay, he needs
then JJ after that, if you want to rank him.
I think Biko might be up there.
Biko and jump JJ. Okay, okay.
How about the coaching staff? I know they called you Coach Dripfield once. So
you guys already know the answer to that question.
No.
Frankie doesn't agree.
Who is it then?
Probably Coach Niles. He's kind of
disrespect right there.
He's younger, so
Hey, you still have practice tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, here's another one. Who's the worst driver on the team?
Jay Sean, for sure.
Besides Coach Crutch.
only ATVs, but in a car probably is Jay Sean, isn't it?
Jay Sean's wild in the car.
Oh no.
We'll tell him to calm down. All right, last one. Who is the pregame DJ in the locker room? Who's putting on the best songs?
I will say that everyone tries to be the DJ, but one time I'm gonna tell a story. North Dakota State. We let Jay Sean have the aux, and he played the worst song ever, but he was getting hyped to it, and then we went out and played terrible. So Jay Sean does not have the aux chord.
He's not the DJ ever again.
Coach has no.
Never again.
That was a bad game.
Oh, no doubt.
That was a bad game.
No doubt.
Well, hopefully that song never gets played again in the Omaha men's locker room.
Yeah.
Let's hope not. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We're happy to see you up here in Sioux Falls, and we'll see you back down in Omaha for the season. It's coming up pretty soon.
Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah,
Appreciate you taking the time to come up.